Army shocked. Jungkook reveals the true meaning of family. Nothing shocked Army more around the world than BTS's sudden, no-nonsense, unscripted confession of Jungkook. In a rare opportunity, the man nicknamed Golden Magne finally opened his heart about one thing he had rarely revealed: the true meaning of family. Jungkook's simple but sword-wielding words immediately became a hot topic, not only among his fans, but also in the international media. Because for the first time, Jungkook is not talking about the stage, not about the music, not about the awards, but about something much deeper, about his family, about the flesh and blood that runs through his body, about the love that never wanes even though he has now become a global icon. This confession was not just an ordinary statement, but an emotional outburst that could not be contained. The listening army could only be silent, crying, and wondering. All this time, what did Jungkook really feel about his family? What makes a superstar who has the world in his grasp still look down respectfully when mentioning the words mom and dad? What is the meaning of the family that he had kept so tightly until it finally leaked in such a thrilling way? That question now haunts many, leading them to retrace Jungkook's journey from his struggling childhood to his standing as one of the world's most influential singers. For the layman, it may be natural for a great artist to talk about his family. However, for Jungkook, this topic is a personal territory that is rarely touched upon. For many years, he was known to be very protective of his family. He rarely touched on his personal life, much less about his family, in public. Therefore, when he finally said, "Family is not just about blood, but about who stays by your side when everyone else is gone," the world seemed to stop spinning. This sentence hit hard, not only for Army, but also for anyone who has ever felt loss, loneliness, or betrayal. What made Jungkook's confession even more controversial was the emotional tone in his voice. He's not joking, he's not playing a role. Jungkook completely stripped off all the shields that had been protecting him in front of the public. She opens her heart, and what comes out is an honest confession that fame, money, and awards are nothing compared to what family really means. There was even a moment when he was seen holding back tears, his lips trembling, as if he was struggling against the old pain that he had kept to himself. That Jungkook's statement became a turning point in the way people saw him. All this time, he was revered as the perfect idol, handsome, talented, humble, and without major scandals. But that night, Jungkook showed another side. The side of ordinary people who can also be hurt, who can also feel alone, and who also crave the warmth of family. He seemed to be saying to the world, "I'm not just BTS's Jungkook. I'm also a kid, a younger brother, a human being who longs for a home." And therein lies the power of his confession, because he managed to tear down the wall between idols and mere mortals. Armies around the world reacted. There are those who cry because they feel the pain that he hid. Some wrote at length on social media about how Jungkook's words touched their hearts. There are also those who question, why does Jungkook only now dare to reveal this? Was there something he had been hiding all this time? Is the meaning of family to Jungkook different from most people? The questions actually made his confession even more controversial, as if there was a big secret that he had not fully opened. But if traced deeper, this recognition does not appear out of nowhere. Traces of it have been around for a long time. From old interviews, from songs that he sang with great feeling, from the look in his eyes when he mentioned the word mother. Jungkook is not the kind of person who talks easily, but his emotions often leak through small actions that only fans who really pay attention to him can catch. He once said that his mother always asked him, "Are you okay today?" And that simple phrase seemed to him much more valuable than the applause of millions of people. From there we can see, the meaning of family for Jungkook is not just the existence of people who are bound by blood with him, but those who always ask him how he is selflessly. More surprisingly, in his confession, Jungkook alludes to how fame often makes him feel lonely. He said that there were moments when he felt that the world loved him, but no one really knew him. He emphasized that only his family is able to see him as he is, not as BTS's Jungkook, not as a global idol, but as John Jungkook, a boy from Busan who used to dream simply. This recognition made many people stunned, because it is rare for an artist to admit his fragile side in the spotlight of the world. Fans began linking Jungkook's statement to his life journey. They recalled how he had left home at the age of 15 to pursue his dreams. They recalled how he admitted that he had cried secretly because he missed his family. They recalled how he secretly bought a new home for his parents as a way to repay all their sacrifices. All the pieces of the story are now reassembled, forming a whole narrative that the meaning of family for Jungkook is not just words, but the foundation of life that he has always held tight. The most emotional was when he said, "I could lose everything. Music, stage, even myself. But I can't lose my family. Because without them, I'm nothing." This sentence makes a lot of people flinch. How can a superstar who is hailed by millions of people say that without his family he is nothing? Here lies the paradox that makes his confession so jarring. The higher he flies, the deeper he realizes that his home remains on his side of the family. Jungkook's confession also caused another controversy. There are those who consider that the statement is a form of insinuation against the entertainment industry that often blackmails artists to forget about their personal lives. Some suspect that Jungkook is actually conveying a hidden message to the army, that behind his smile, there is loneliness that can only be cured by the warmth of family. Whatever the interpretation, what is clear is that this statement has opened a new dimension in understanding Jungkook's figure. He was not only a talented singer, but also a man who dared to open old wounds to remind the world of the importance of family. Now, millions of fans around the world seem to be faced with a mirror. They not only saw Jungkook, but also saw themselves. How many of us often forget about family for the sake of pursuing busyness? How many of us more often seek validation from outsiders, but forget to ask how our own parents are doing? Jungkook's words became a kind of slap, a reminder that family is the most precious treasure that we often neglect. And this is the reason why Jungkook's confession became so viral. Because he not only speaks for himself, but also for all of us. He voiced something universal, something that can be understood by anyone, from Korea to Indonesia, from America to Europe. The message is simple but powerful. Family is at the heart of everything. And when those words came out of the mouth of a Jungkook, the world couldn't ignore them.